Our next guest is a master spin instructor at SoulCycle right here in New York City. But when she is not motivating riders to sweat it out in her spin classes, she's fighting cancer and raising money with Cycle for Survival.
Outstanding. Joining us to share her inspiring and personal story as a two-time cancer survivor is Melanie Griffith. Welcome, Melanie.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
A vision of health and fitness and beauty and all the things.
Oh, thank you. Same to you.
And she single-handedly helped us get onto these bicycles.
I'm strapped in and I can't get out of it.
I have on a pump. So here we are. You are one of the team captains for this weekend's Cycle for Survival event. Tell us about your story as a cancer survivor and why you do what you do.
Yeah, for sure. I was first diagnosed with cancer in 2010 when I had just become a SoulCycle instructor. And I was diagnosed with a rare form of lymphoma. I was watched at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center for a long time while they studied the disease before I was treated for the first time. And it has been a long journey of diagnosis, treatment, remission, and then I was re-diagnosed in 2019. Had an incredible surgery at MSK, and here we are 5 years later, once again in remission, and feeling truly as healthy and well as I ever had.
God bless. That is fantastic,
That
right?
is. You were just speaking about, well, while you were in remission, you faced another battle. That was the second diagnosis for.
You know, it was the second diagnosis. I had to have a surgery and have a tumor removed from my small intestine. And the second diagnosis uncovered a genetic disorder that I have and that my kids have. And so now we have a protocol of prevention that keeps us well and keeps us healthy.
I love that. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 adult children. My youngest is 21. My next is 23.
You started when you were 11.
And my daughter is 26. I'm 55 years old.
What?
So I started just right on time.
All right, I'm going to keep cycling. In that case.
You keep cycling.
That's
Okay, so
amazing.
you have raised $31,000?
So far, my team this year for Cycle for Survival has raised $31,000. It is part of the overall fundraising that Cycle for Survival does as the fundraising arm for rare cancer research at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center right here in New York City. We love it and know it as MSK. And this year is my 5th year as a teacher for the event. Early days, when Cycle for Survival first began in 2007, I participated with the founder, Jennifer Lynn Goodman. We were treated in the same arm of MSK.
I almost just reached down for my water bottle. Like I am in I was like, oh, I'm thirsty. I'm like, but it's not there yet because we're not. This isn't a bona fide class.
Right. Melanie, where does the money go that is raised?
That's a great question. For Cycle for Survival, 100% of the money goes directly to clinical trials and research for rare cancer at Memorial Sloan Kettering. And you wouldn't necessarily know it, but rare cancer is more than 50% of all cancers. A lot of them are underfunded. And for me personally, I have a direct connection. The first time I was treated with a drug that was discovered through a clinical trial that happened because of funding from Cycle for Survival.
Right.
Wow.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the act of movement for the purposes of what we're talking about now? It is cycling. Yeah. But what that does to your psyche and the whole mind-body connection. We talk about it all the time, like I can be out of a bad mood in a mile run or even just a brisk walk. So for folks at home, give them the skinny, because it's the science and it's all of the things.
The science is very clear. To be well, to live a beautiful, long life, you have to move. And whatever kind of movement makes sense for you. You mentioned great ones. Get up, take a walk. If you can't go running, walk around the block. If you can't do an hour, do 5 minutes. But any kind of movement, because a couple of things are going to happen. Hormones will be released into your body that will combat the overdose of stress that we all have with what's going on in the world right now. And so movement and movement in community is good not just for your body, good for your heart, but good for
For the
your
mentals,
holistic
for the whole
mind,
thing.
body, the whole thing.
See, I told you.
I know.
I just felt like hitting you.
Living and learning.
New York City events this weekend, March 5th to the 9th. Tell us about them. They're at some equinoxes, yes?
Yeah, there are a bunch of equinoxes because Equinox, is the founding partner with MSK of Cycle for Survival. And except for 2 rides that are taught by SoulCycle instructors, one that was already in Chicago and one that is Friday night at Bryant Park, Equinox. All the others are taught by Equinox instructors. 15 cities, several weekends. This is the last New York City weekend. It's all over, I would say, mostly Midtown equinoxes.
Fantastic. All right.
I got one other question.
Yeah.
Will you stick around?
Yeah, let's
Teach
stick
us some spin
around.
moves?
Will you ride with me a little if I do?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Let's
then
get it
yes.
on.
I like all of this. By the way, if you would like to get involved with Cycle for Survival, go to cycleforsurvival.org to donate and find information about joining or starting your own team. We better get ready.